Chapter 54, Meeting with the Director. Su Cheng didn't expect the leader of North Gate to be so influential, capable of stirring up a storm by just sending a deathmatch invitation. On the next morning, the director immediately summoned Su Cheng to his office before he got off his shift. "You were too impulsive last night." The director looked at Su Cheng with a helpless face and said, "What were you doing? How can our bureau protect you now? Not to mention you, even I wouldn't dare to offend the gang leader of North Gate. You are a patrol officer, why are you always doing the work of a next-level secret agent?" Su Cheng was a bit unsatisfied. "Director, did you hear about old Wang getting beat up?" "Of course." The director replied, "But you should still judge the situation first. You should first ask what old Wang has in mind, or else you also put him on a difficult spot, you know? What happens if some people come and look for him for revenge later? Who's going to dare?" Su Cheng's pupils enlarged. "I will skin him alive." The director slapped the table and became a bit anxious. "If you are still going to be this reckless, how are you going to continue doing your job? We are patrol officers, not criminal police that arrest people and investigate the fuck out of it. The nature of our job is to have patience and calmly address and solve the issues at hand. Now, tell me, what did you do yesterday that pissed that old guy off so much that he sent you a deathmatch invitation?" Su Cheng just stood there and remained silent, because he didn't know what to say. Just then, the officer door was pushed open by the instructor of the bureau. He took a look at Su Cheng, as if he was meeting Su Cheng for the first time. He came to the director's side and said, "I got someone to look into it. Last night, this guy went in and beat up 50 people on North Gate's territory. It was taped by a patron of the local nightclub and posted online. It's a trending topic right now." The director's eyes got a lot bigger. 50 people? Are you sure? The instructor took out his phone, opened the video, and said, "I downloaded it just now, take a look." In the video, some people recorded the battle scene of Su Cheng against 50 or so people. It was blood-boiling just to watch, and the fight was so intense that the director didn't blink once until the end. "Director, I had basically the same reaction you did after watching it for the first time." The instructor kind of wanted to laugh. The director immediately blinked awkwardly. "How many comments are there and how big is the influence?" the director asked the instructor. "The influence is definitely big, but most of the people online side with Su Cheng, especially those with IP addresses in Shangcheng. It's probably because they hate North Gate as well, and they felt relieved that Su Cheng beat them up for them." "Relieved my ass." The director didn't know whether he should laugh or cry. "Now the higher-ups are calling me, especially those at the Criminal Investigation Department. They were asking if I want to cross jurisdictions and stir something up. How the fuck can I explain to them?" Su Cheng didn't want to give his supervisors a hard time, so he said, "I will take full responsibility for this." "How are you going to do that?" The director slapped the desk again and said, "The Construction Bureau, Criminal Investigation Department, and our own higher-ups had been calling and asking what our bureau is up to, and asking how to take care of the repair expenses for the damages you caused. Our higher-ups and the Criminal Investigation Department even said that they might as well give the entire North Gate case to us. If that really becomes the case, we will be working overtime 25/8. Su Cheng awkwardly replied, "It's my fault, my temper got a bit too violent when I was in the military. I will pay attention in the future and accept whatever punishment that comes my way." Is it as simple as just saying you got a little too violent? Look at this video, this was even more intense than movies, and you call it a bit too violent? This is called extremely violent, the director snorted. "So you are saying you will accept whatever punishment we give?" Su Cheng nodded. "Very well. The head at Shangcheng's police HQ wants to transfer you over there for you to receive your punishment. I think a lot of people there probably want to teach you a lesson, since you did their job so well. Thanks to you, I guess, the sense of presence of our Western District Police Station was refreshed in the entire Shangcheng. The director didn't know whether he should laugh or cry. Su Cheng saluted and said, "Director, you told me when I just got here, that a good police officer shouldn't be afraid of trouble." The director's eyes immediately widened. "Who fucking knew you would go stir up a storm with North Gate? You didn't even finish the mission at the novice village yet and you went to solo the level 100 boss." Then, he waved his hand impatiently and said, "Hurry up, there will be a car from HQ to pick you up. Just follow the procedure and take whatever punishment HQ throws your way." Su Cheng nodded. He knew that it was against the rules that he went alone into North Gate's territory and beat up so many people, and he was willing to accept the punishment. Turning around, he followed the instructor out of the bureau. The instructor smiled and talked on their way out. "Where did you get your training? You are good. When I saw that video, I thought it was a clip from a movie or something. When I saw your face, I was legitimately shocked. Oh, and you should have punched them harder." Su Cheng didn't know how to respond to that. "Instructor, will this cause trouble to the bureau?" "Of course not. Other departments did have some opinion on you, but as long as the big boss doesn't say anything, it means it's nothing. The director was just following the procedure to give you a lecture. He's scared that other people in the bureau will follow your footsteps. After all, they don't have your skills." The instructor laughed. Hearing this, Su Cheng knew everything was going to be fine and he wasn't really in big trouble. Seeing a police car parked outside, he got in and drove straight to the city police HQ. Su Cheng came here before. Ran Jing brought him here last time, and he didn't think the second time he came would be to accept punishment. Ran Jing saw Su Cheng at the hallway. Her men saw him too and snorted, "We followed the case for so long and everything got more complicated now. What a shit-stirring stick." "Shush!" Ran Jing glared at her men. Su Cheng bitterly smiled. "Sorry." Ran Jing shook her head. Then, Su Cheng continued to walk further and saw Li Dazhuang. The latter shook the muscles on his body, stood in the center, and looked at Su Cheng. "Our last match didn't count, I want to fight you again." The police officer escorting Su Cheng looked at Li Dazhuang and said, "Go online and check out the video of this guy soloing 50 people, and then you can come and talk to him about your next match." Then, he brought Su Cheng directly to the HQ director's office. Su Cheng also didn't expect to be meeting the big boss all of the sudden. When it was just the two of them in the office, the director with a sort of rectangular face and kind expression smiled. "When your instructor in the military sent you over, he did remind me of your temper. But, I thought that no matter how straightforward a soldier's temper is, society will smooth out his edges, but you seem to be out of tune with this environment." Seeing Su Cheng not knowing what to say, the director smiled and continued, "When your instructor introduced you to me, it felt like he was giving treasure away and he made me promise to take good care of you. He said that if I make good use of you, then you would be a godly weapon. If I don't make good use of you, then you will bring all kinds of trouble. Now, do you feel like you are a godly weapon or bringing me trouble?" Su Cheng was a bit confused. "Sorry, director, I don't know what you mean. The deathmatch invitation is out. North Gate has been a headache for the government, because the things they are involved with are too big. The entire Old Streets district occupied by North Gate is an area that the government had been wanting to develop. With the people of North Gate guarding the place, no developer dares to take the job. But now, your impulsiveness opened up an opportunity. The gang leader is a highly respected figure in the eyes of North Gate members, and he's a man of his words. Your actions completely infuriated him, and if North Gate can really be disbanded from his defeat, then I think many people will be happy to see it happen." Su Cheng understood. "Director, do you want me to accept the invitation?" The director didn't nod nor shake his head. "Are you confident?"